And guys, in this next news story, a Chinese gang who laundered more than £55 million and arranged shady deals around London have been jailed. A 3-year investigation by officers in Stoke Newington uncovered a sophisticated international network of money laundering via Chinese underground banking. Officers found that over £55 million had been laundered between February 2020 and June 2023, and 7 criminals have now been handed a total of 24 years and 11 months behind bars. The gang's ringleader, Kiji Wang, who's 29, who operated under the user handle "There is a Big Sun in the Sky" on a Chinese messaging app that was used to carry out the illegal operations, has been jailed for 12 years. Wang and 3 others, including one woman, were sentenced at Snaresbrook Crown Court for a range of money laundering offences, and 3 others were previously sentenced also at Snaresbrook Crown Court in June. Wang was jailed for conspiracy to money launder and operating an unregistered money service business. Officers began investigating the group following increasing concerns around underground banking. On the 29th of December 2022, officers conducted 2 simultaneous warrants while searching the first address belonging to Xiaoyo Xu and Ying Wan from Canary Wharf, and they found more than £104,000 in a carrier bag hidden in a wardrobe. The second arrest warrant took place at the address of Yun Chen Huang, who's also from Canary Wharf, where multiple cash counting machines and money bags were found. Officers seized almost £500,000 in assets from the group. Specialist officers then undertook comprehensive analysis of Xu and Huang's mobile phones, revealing that the pair were using a Chinese messaging app to sell British pounds to university students to circumnavigate foreign currency controls, which limits the amount of cash that can be taken out of China per year. The messages also identified that Xu and Huang were working for a person with the user handle "There is a Big Sun in the Sky." This person arranged for the pair to collect large amounts of cash, sometimes as large as £250,000 at a time. Xu and Huang were not told the identity of those they collected cash from and were instructed to take a photo of a £5 banknote, including the unique serial number. This was then passed on to the courier, allowing the interaction to take place without either party knowing the identity of the other. This was done by the group to prevent those in the chain giving information to police if they were arrested. Officers also identified that Peng Lui and Ang Li from Canary Wharf were assisting with the group by operating an unregistered money business. Counting machines and around £15,000 in cash were found during a search of their address in June 2023. Officers were then able to identify that Kiji Wang was the head of the group and responsible for the handle "There is a Big Sun in the Sky." When searching his address in Manchester, they discovered numerous mobile phones, computers, bank cards, and other names and cash counting machines. These mobile phones and computers were forensically searched by officers and included comprehensive ledgers of each consignment from February 2020 to June 2023, allowing the officers to value the earnings of the operation at over £55 million. Ji Wang was sentenced to 12 years in jail, while Rulon Chen was sentenced to 2 years for operating an unregistered money service business. She was sentenced to 3 years and 8 months in prison, while Huang was given 3 years and 4 months. At the earlier sentencing in June, Lui and Li were handed 18 months jail, while Ying Wang was sentenced to 11 months. DC Zach Rowe from the Stoke Newington Proactive Crime Team said, "Thanks to the hard work and perseverance of highly skilled officers in the Met, we have been able to disrupt a sophisticated economic crime unit. The sheer scale of this laundering will generate crimes such as illegal drug supply, prostitution, human trafficking and more. The verdict and the lengthy 3-year investigation that led to it demonstrates that we leave no stone unturned in our pursuit to catch criminals who look to enjoy the proceeds of illicit funds, no matter how complex the case is." Ben Maguire, the lead counsel from Hollis Whiteman, said the relentless commitment of DC Rowe and his team to investigate this case is resulting in dismantling a professional gang of international money launderers. The gang laundered vast sums of cash in excess of £55 million on behalf of those involved in organised crime. This successful prosecution has basically dismantled this criminal operation, preventing those involved in crime from profiting from their wrongdoing. Absolute madness, guys. And guys, in this next news story, a father and son have been convicted of killing a man in a revengeful hit and run. Martin and Sean Breeze mowed down and killed Brian Darby, as well as seriously injuring other pedestrians in Ingleby, Barwick. On the evening of Friday, the 9th of February, Brian, a 17-year-old, two men, and a 50-year-old woman were walking home after a night out at a cafe bar where Sean barged through them whilst riding a bike. When they remonstrated with him, Sean gave the impression he was carrying a knife, and the three men then gave chase and he collided with another pedestrian and fell off his bike. He then proceeded to run away on foot while making a telephone call to his dad. Martin, who was 67 at the time, was on a road and then set off in his van and was captured on CCTV driving rapidly to pick up his son. The pair then drove and, upon spotting the group, left the carriageway, mounted a grass verge, ploughing across a cycle path before deliberately mowing them down on the footpath. The impact caused the windscreen to shatter and one of the victims to be thrown in the air. Brian was carried on the roof of the bonnet before falling onto the carriageway some distance from the impact. The 60-year-old sadly passed away at the roadside despite the best efforts of passers-by, police and paramedics. Just want to say, rest in peace, Brian. My condolences go out to your family. The woman sustained life-threatening injuries, whilst the teenager and another man also suffered serious injuries that required hospital treatment. Meanwhile, the Breezes had returned the van to the road and fled the scene. They abandoned the heavily damaged vehicle, arrived back at their home and contacted the police to report the vehicle as stolen. What followed was a detailed police investigation by Cleveland Police's HMET that quickly unpicked their version of events, and they were both arrested at an address in Ingleby, Barwick. During interview, Martin said he had been up all night drinking alcohol and taking drugs, and that his telephone had been in the van when it was stolen overnight. Sean gave a similar account to his father and stated he'd only been out that night to sell his bicycle to a local coke dealer and didn't know that the van had been stolen until the morning. Detectives viewed hours of CCTV footage, spoke to a variety of witnesses, as well as gathering vital evidence, including telecoms and forensic inquiries that led to both Martin and Sean being charged. The pair pleaded not guilty to the murder of Brian, the attempted murder of four other people, and perverting the course of justice. However, a jury found Martin guilty of murder, attempted murder, and perverting the course of justice. Sean was found guilty of manslaughter, 4 counts of GBH with intent, and perverting the course of justice. So they were due to be sentenced recently. However, it's been delayed after Sean Breeze decided to launch an appeal against his conviction. So a new date for sentencing is yet to be set. So guys, there's a number of stories coming out from the streets of the UK. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.